Well, Happy New Year! Isn't it great to see so many people fishing the shores of Merimbula? So let's get straight into this fishing report and see what they're catching. Well, I don't know if the fishing's been quite as good as it was last week, but we're still seeing plenty of good catches. Just at the jetty this morning, I've been talking to old mate, he's got a nice blackfish or a couple of blackfish. He said he had to work a little bit hard for him, but he's found some weed and he's gone out and caught some blackfish. Just putting a higher boat in the water just then, and old mate's caught a cracking big bream, so check that one out. So we've just come out for a quick flick while we're checking the crab pots, and these flatties are getting around. We've seen great reports all up and down, heaps are coming out of the Bega River, but this one's just coming out of the Merimbula top lake system here, just flicking little plastics to the edges, and you'll come up with a few little flatties. So we're just checking these crab pots that we put in yesterday. We have heard that there's been a fair few crabs around. People, when they were prawning last week, were catching a lot in their prawn nets, and a few people just seen them when they've been boating around and that the last few days. So hopefully we've got a bucket full of crabs in here. Oh, I don't know if you'd call it a bucket full. There is one in there, but you can see it's a Jenny. It's got the U bottom on there instead of the V. So that one's going to have to go back, and we'll keep searching for a feed of crabs. So you can identify the female crabs by this big U on the bottom there. On a male, it's a way steeper V there. So all of those ones, they'll carry lots of eggs, and that'll be the crabs of the future. So make sure you let those ones go. The sand flats in Merimbula is always a great option to come and pump some nippers. We know you catch so much better fish and way more of them when you're using fresh live baits. All you got to do is pump these little nippers, put them on a small hook or even a small jig head, and just have them floating down with the current. If it looks really natural, this is just tumbling around, along the sand down with the current, and you'll get a whiting, pick them up, or a couple of bream, or even some trevally. So have a look at that. Emiliano here and his family's come out, hired a tinny, come up trumps with an absolute beautiful dusky flathead. Well done, mate. Good job. If you want to come and check out some of the local residents just hanging out under the marine rescue boat here in front of Spencer Park at the fishing club, they're quite often hanging out here. They're great to come and get a photo with. They're pretty relaxed. They don't scare too much. Just don't get too close. They've probably got pretty sharp teeth. And if you want to have a fish while you're here, the local fisherman's jetty here, like across the road from the fishing club at Spencer Park, is a great platform. They catch heaps of trevally off that little pontoon there. Lots of flathead in that too, so great little spot. And all along the sandbank, right the way along, you're going to get fish as the tide goes up and down. Isn't it great to see so many people out and about enjoying our waterways? Lots of people catching plenty of fish. You just got to take your time a little bit at this time of year. There obviously is so many people around, so get your spot, give everyone a little bit more room. There's plenty of water for everyone to catch a fish in. The ever popular Mitch's Jetty to Bar Beach, this stretch catches so many fish. There's a nice steep sandbank which gets you straight into the deeper water, and they get a lot of flathead off here. The salmon can come in schools too, so you might get a cast at them, and you get some tailor here at night time as well. Well worth a shot. Bit different to the other side at the moment. The beach side of Merimbula is not fishing very well at all. There's heaps of algae, so you cast your line out and bring it back in about 30 seconds, and the line is just coated in this dirty algae. It seems to only be Merimbula main beach, and if you go north to Chura Beach or south to any of the beaches down south, there hasn't been a problem anywhere else. Just seems to be Merimbula Beach has that algae problem at the moment. So maybe stay away from there. There's been really good catches right up and down the coast. We've seen the dewy fishing out of Tathra has been spectacular. If you want to come in under the bridge at Tathra, the Mulloway have been fantastic. We've seen someone caught a 27 kilo fish there this week, amongst many other small ones as well. So if you can find that deep water, get that slack tide, you're every chance of coming up tight with the Mulloway. So that amazing start that we saw to the marlin season last week has just clean stopped. We thought it was all on, it was all going crazy, people were catching a lot of fish, and then this week we've seen absolutely nothing. There's been boats out there chasing them around, but the water's all changed. There's a bit of colder water pushing up from the south, and they're just not there at the moment. So hopefully we can bring you some better news on that next week. There has been some kings still around though, so still worth trolling those headlands with some liveys. The local wharves are all still a chance of a kingfish as well. If you want to catch a livey, whether it's a slimy or a squid, chuck it out there on a bigger hook and float it around. Hopefully those kingies swim past and take it as well. Still heaps of squid off the wharfs too. They are super busy at this time of year, so you've just got to get there really early, beat the sun, and they'll still be, while it's low light conditions, so squid will be biting off their heads, so chuck a squid jig out. Heaps of fun with the kids. So with the weather windows being quite limited this week, we haven't seen too many boats get out there, but those who have come up trumps with a great feed of flathead. Down to that usual 30 to 40 metre range, find the sand out there, and there's been an abundance of sand flathead. So yeah, if you're not getting them, just keep moving around, just go a bit 5 metres deeper, and you'll come across these fish. They're a great feed and there's heaps of them. The snapper, we haven't seen too many people fishing for them really. They're probably there, that water's cooled down a little bit, which tends to make the snapper bite a bit harder, but yeah, just not too many people finding those reefs and getting out there early enough due to the bad weather. Those that have been on the flatty grounds have come up trumps with some gummy shark though. There's been a few gummies about, some decent sized ones too, so if you're out there drifting for a flathead, chuck on a bigger bait or a trailing hook, you'll come up with a few gummies too.
Rightio guys, in the last week we've had a lot of wind. That's had a lot of people not fishing offshore. They've been doing other stuff like fishing the estuary and bass fishing. It's been quite productive. We've seen a lot of bass caught. Murray cod season's well and truly open now. We've also seen some good cod fishing. So if you got any questions, give the Canberra boys a yell. Pop up there, give it a go.
Well, that wraps things up for this New Year's edition of our Boss Outdoor Fishing Report. Thanks to everyone that we've seen around the water over the last couple of days that have sent us your photos, allowed me to take photos, or just got your photo onto the fishing report. Come into Boss Outdoor and we'll give you a $10 voucher for your troubles. If there's anything that we can help you with, whether it's camping, fishing, anything in the outdoors, come into Boss Outdoor so we can hook you up.